Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another Missouri Welding Institute Monday. You know where I live today, we had a lot of really nasty weather. We had a lot of wind, a lot of clouds, lots of rain. And in my opinion, these make for ideal conditions to go out on a fall day and get a lot of bites using a spinnerbait. Now, whenever we start talking about getting bites on a spinnerbait, whether it's a tournament day or you're just out fun fishing, we can all agree that it makes for a way more enjoyable day to land a higher percentage of those bites. Now, the number one way to do that when we start talking about spinnerbaits is by adding a trailer hook. Now, there are a couple scenarios where I won't use one. They include times whenever I'm slow rolling a spinnerbait deep. I just don't feel like it's that important. Or if I'm using a large trailer that's going to tangle with that trailer hook, I'll just stay away from it altogether. Now, the other 98% of the time, I'm adding a trailer hook on my spinnerbait. I don't care how heavy the cover is. If I get hung up a couple extra times for the trade-off of getting a few extra bites, that could really improve my outcome for the day. So I'm using a trailer hook the other 98% of the time. Now, there are a couple different ways of rigging a trailer hook. I want to go over, in my opinion, the wrong way and the right way to rig one, and I hope it helps. So over the course of the year, I'll draw it with a couple different co-anglers, and also have a buddy or two hop in the boat, and they'll have their trailer hook rigged on surgical tubing, just like this, where it's fixed on the shank of the hook. I try to stay away from that at all costs for the sake of efficiency. You know, you make that perfect roll cast up behind a dock, or you throw it up next to a laydown or whatever, and since it's fixed on the shank of that hook, that trailer hook might kind of end up cockeyed like this. So it's traveling through the water like so. The fish short strikes it, and it completely defeats the purpose of having a trailer hook at all. It also kind of interferes with your trailer at times. It can bind up and it won't correct itself. So I absolutely stay away from that at all costs. Now, what I will do is I'll use a punch out that I make out of milk jugs. I'll just sit there whenever I'm watching a football game, whatever, and just make a whole little plastic jar full of these punch outs. And what I'll do with that is pretty self-explanatory. I'll put, my trailer on the spinnerbait first, if I'm using one. If not, that's great too. And I'll put, usually a 2/0 trailer hook onto the shank of the hook, just like this, where it's free swinging. That's a big key here. And then I'll take my little punch out, just like that, and I'll just put it right on the shank of the spinnerbait hook. Push it on there, and once you get it over the barb, that thing is not coming off whatsoever. You'll have to use pliers to pry that bad boy off there. So your trailer hook's gonna be free swinging. Like I said earlier, if your trailer laps over your trailer hook, you can just give your spinnerbait a pop and it'll auto correct. And it's always free swinging behind that bait to catch that short striking bass. So this is a big key. I've used this for the last 10, 15 years. It's worked great for me. I really hope it helps you. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for checking out this video, and we'll see you next week.